A shooting just now. We're getting fresh news about it as we do the show on Wednesday here in a town right outside of Ferguson, 2 miles from Ferguson. Antonio Martin was shot. He was 18 years old. In this case, the police say that he was armed. Well, that is a controversy we're going to get into right now. He was shot right in front of basically a gas station. Obviously, there's a convenience store in front of that gas station as well. Now, people are putting out a theory there that the cops planted the gun on him. We're going to show you video too, but here's the pictures that they show. They claim that in the first picture there is no gun, but when you look at the second picture, 2 hours later, a gun appears. I have no idea if that's remotely true. I can't tell which picture is authentic and which one isn't. I haven't done the forensic evidence on those pictures, and neither have you. So don't take it at face value. Just understand that that's what some people are claiming. Now, you're going to see the video anyway in a second, right? Now, on the issue of what happened. Well, Shellman says one of the men, that's the officer, pulled a handgun and pointed it at the officer. The officer fired several shots, striking and fatally wounding the man, okay? Now, I should be clear, actually. Shellman is the county police spokesman. He's Sergeant Brian Shellman, okay? He's explaining what the cop did, okay? Now, we go to the video. Now, there are 3 parts of this video, and I want to show you, give you the full context. The first one here is when you see the guys hanging out, including the person who got shot here, Antonio Martin, in front of the store. So there's no urgency here. There's no crime here as far as we can tell. They're just hanging out. I mean, presumably if there had been any kind of crime, they would be looking to get away. They're not. They were hanging out in front of the store. They're walking around. And then you'll see the cop pull up, and he's there randomly too. He was not investigating a crime. He was, in fact, off duty. He pulls up. Now, it's in the other side of the parking lot, and then you'll see that Antonio Martin and his friend were already walking in that direction, okay? They're doing that now. Antonio Martin's on the left, and his friend's on the right. And then there's other people there in the parking lot as well. The cop then pulls in the background, you see. And then they begin to have what appears, obviously there's no audio, to be a normal conversation. I mean, at this point, there's no reason to believe that a shooting is going to ensue. So there they are, and there's, what seems to be a family there, and Antonio Martin's friend, and then Martin is on the left side of that screen. Now, the cops say that what you're going to see next is Martin pulling a gun, and then that's why the officer had to shoot him. Now, don't get distracted by what's in the foreground. And the action is happening in the background, okay? And Martin is on the left-hand side of the screen, as you'll see here. And see, it appears that he is making a motion to pull a gun. We can't see clearly enough to know if it is a weapon, but that's what it looks like. You're going to see that in a little bit here. So another car pulls up. They have nothing to do with this. Look at the background as the officer continues to talk to the people involved here. And then right there at the end, they freeze it, and it looks like he's pulled a gun and is pointing it at the officer, right? Unfortunately, there is no clearer video of that, and that's the best we got. So, look, they got to do a real investigation here and figure out, look at the pictures, look at the video, talk to all the witnesses. There were a lot of witnesses there in the beginning, at least. The friend that he was with took off and ran away once the shooting happened. Obviously, they got to go find him, talk to him, see what other witnesses there were, including that family that was at the parking lot. So let's do a real investigation here and find out what the truth is. And it might really be that the guy pulled a gun and then the cop had to shoot him. So, and there's obviously some evidence to that effect in that video. So everybody reserve judgment. And now this is a different town. It's not Ferguson. It's outside of Ferguson. And the town's mayor is Theodore Hoskins. And the town's Berkeley, by the way. He said, when I got to the scene, we were all saying the same thing. Here's a white policeman killing a young black man. When does this stop? I can assure you that that did not happen last night. Now, Theodore Hoskins is also African-American, the mayor involved here. So he says he comes to the scene and is frustrated. Oh, no, another cop shooting an unarmed black guy. But it turns out, he says, that that's not the case here, that the guy was armed and the shooting was justified. But he says we're going to really investigate. And he says, we have a majority of black officers in our city. Our experience is different from a city that has 50 out of 53 white officers, referring to Ferguson. Our police officers are more sensitive, and it's because of the black and white relation and because they interact. So, everybody out there, let's let this town, which is different than Ferguson, do this investigation and see what they come up with. And so let's reserve judgment until all those facts are in. Okay? So, but that is the latest shooting, and it is near Ferguson.